Can you share potential risk when a third party decides to sell their business to a new supplier and its impact on my company? If the service has transitioned, should I be risk assessing the new supplier under the new name? What should we do here? So now basically the company has been sold, the contract is presumably you did not limit assignment, otherwise the contract just can't go with it, right? Which is a good clause to put in, no right of assignment without my approval. And so now though, the contract is over, it's by a company they've been acquired. And so should you go through and do a risk assessment on the new company?
Yes.
Yes, the answer is yes, you should. Anything different than that, Lawrence?
Well, maybe I'll say yes. And so, I mean, the contracts that we have, you're not allowed to change ownership without notification because there are a company I work for is in 108 countries and 48 states and global, and changing a supplier ownership, even a large stake in a company could mean things through the State Department level of where we can or can't work, right? So I got to know that stuff.
Yeah.
But if a company is acquired and I don't have those safeguards, I didn't know it was coming. One of the things that I always recommend is do subscriptions and do scraping of news articles to hear what's going on with your suppliers, especially those, we talked about stratification earlier, right? Especially those in your top tier, so that you're always aware of, did they have a bad quarter? Do they have a strike? Are they having disruptions in their supply chain, or whatever's going on, so that hopefully that's not a surprise to you, because doing that, kind of risk analysis, addendum or whatever you want to call it, redoing it takes some time, right? Because there's all kinds of things: financial risk, geopolitical risk, currency exchange risk, blah, 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 right? We all know what those are. But the point is that having a holistic appraisal and keeping it up to date is really, really important. You can't do it constantly, but like in my case, I got 1,834 suppliers. About 90% of my spend is in about 400, and about 80% of my spend is about 40, right? So I can really do a good job with the 40. Maybe with 400, the tail is a lot of risk, right? And so, so I need to know where things are, and if there is a potential change of ownership, what does this mean to me? Maybe it's better, right? And great. Maybe it's worse, maybe it's neutral, but I have to know that, because it could be that, I'm now, especially anybody who's highly regulated, you got ITAR, air law, export controls, things like that. Somebody changes ownership in a supplier, you might have changed suppliers even if you love them, right? Because now we have foreign ownership or something.
Or the nice is somebody you don't want to do business. So let me just separate the contract and the performance risk from the third party risk. When a company has been acquired by a new company, you're now dealing with a new third party, and you should go through the risk assessment.